Hey everybody, I'm finding myself having a little bit more time to go live again. And I wanted to get on here. And I want to read just a couple of things that I wrote in 2022. And reflecting. Sorry, I'm just turning it down a little bit, okay? Did I mess it up? Hold on. I know it. Mommy took it away. I'm sorry. Give him that bowl right there. Give him that bowl, yeah. Look at that. Okay, so I want to come live just for a second while I have time because I'm sitting here feeding my kids lunch, and I was reading back. I literally told you guys I keep a lot of my journals from like when I first started following the Lord. Like this journal is from 2022, which was what? Okay, sorry. I'm trying to get them right. This journal is from, you can turn it up. You know how to do it. Hold on. Let me just help her out real quick. Great is your faithfulness. You want some ketchup? Okay, so this book is from 2022, and I just want to read some of the things that I was writing in 2022 in my journal when I had just came to Christ fully in 2020. And the only reason I want to read some of this to you guys is because I want you to be encouraged that this is a process. You could be completely broken in 2022, and God can transform your life in 2025. This is what I wrote in my journal. And I'm only sharing this with you guys because I feel like somebody will be encouraged. But I wrote in 2022, I said, you truly never know who's in the background praying for you. As I'm reading in Acts tonight, the Lord has rewinded my mind back to some things that happened to me in a dark time in my life. At a point in time, almost 3 years ago, I decided to move out of my mom's house and do what I wanted. This consisted of me actually doing things I'd never done. I did pills, smoked a lot, coke, and even overdosed on pills that are actually used to make meth. In this dark time of literally dying and sinking in the world, lots of times God was still using me. There would be times I went to sleep and I was so high I'd think I was going to die, but still the Lord convicted my soul and kept me alive. There were times I feel him come on to me and witness to the people around me, even in the midst of my sin. In the moments where I knew I was doing wrong, he interceded and made his love and spirit known. I remember witnessing to Brian, who is my husband now. I remember witnessing to Brian, seeing such a lost, broken soul, the Lord was able to touch him through even me being in my weakness. There were multiple occasions I'd start talking about Jesus while being high, and the people around me who were not thinking about him would feel his presence come into the room. See, I knew he existed. I was just being hard-headed. Let me go back to my first sentence. When I finally came back to my mom's house, I saw my uncle, who was 200 pounds heavier a few months before I left. And we started talking, getting honest and emotional, and he told me he fasted for me every day. I said, Jesus, I'm writing this to you. You used him to intercede on my behalf, and I'm so thankful how you equip us to be breakthroughs and miracles for other people. I thank you that we are vessels living for you to be alive inside. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I just feel like the fact that I wrote this down, then I also wrote down, abuse is so traumatizing. When I was younger, I wasn't physically abused, but my heart was crushed into pieces. I've always been very emotional and soft-hearted, so every time something wasn't right, it was completely hard for me to brush it off and forget about it. It started with seeing my father addicted to drugs and women. I never really got the attention from a man that I needed. Instead of having a family to know my worth, instead of having a happy family, I had to make visit to see him behind a glass in jail, behind a pew in church while in rehab, and so many other places. Give it to him, Ava. My heart constantly felt ripped out of my chest, not to mention all of the women he had that I also began to love ended up being temporary. I always thought once he was happy with someone, I'd finally be deserving of all of his time and love. So there I was, feeling older than I was. I didn't play with toys as a kid, watch TV really, or even enjoy my childhood. Plenty of times I was put into such an adult situation as a kid, looking after adults. From designating driving my aunt's home, taking them to get crack, and even giving my prescription medicine to them for their addictions. He just wants the phone. Can you give him the phone? It's fine. You can have the TV, and we're getting ready to go feed the animals in just a second. Give it to him for me, baby girl. Thank you. To seeing my grandmother worry, slave, and be treated with total disrespect. My mom was physically there for me and always sacrificed a lot to take care of me, but we didn't emotionally bond. We didn't have a lot, but what we did, she always made sure her kids had something. However, she wasn't affectionate towards me. I didn't ever really hear "I'm proud of you" or any encouraging words, and honestly, it's what I needed as a child the most. I was held in bondage and was never allowed to do anything, and part of me believed she was just trying to protect me, but the older I got, I've realized that we all have lies that we hide to protect others and ourselves from heartache and disappointment and the truth. I used to sleep for days at a time in a pitch black. Help him put it back on the thing that he was on, baby. Please, and then we're going to go feed the animals like you want to do. Help him get to YouTube and put it on Elmo for him. Thank you. The older I grow, I've realized that we all have lies that we hide to protect others and ourselves from heartache and disappointment and the truth. I used to sleep for days at a time in a pitch black room. I wouldn't get up unless I was hungry or needed to use the restroom, and still then sometimes I would hold it in. I never felt accepted by anyone and was called names in school. Started as a skyscraper, some called me a Yeti, and then proceeded to even get worse in my older years. I contemplated suicide weekly, and little did anyone know that even though I smiled, I felt dead inside. Being too black for the white kids and too white for the black kids. Shoot, even my own cousins didn't fully love me. All of this leads up to the abuse I've tolerated in friendships and relationships, knowing people had bad intentions and I still chose to love them. Being talked badly about and still loving them, being emotionally cut off, looked at as crazy, yet still loving them. I've learned that it is important to love yourself, find yourself, and trust God. Finding myself and finding Jesus finally allowed me to open up my eyes to what I deserve. I deserve to be honest first with myself, that I don't always see my worth. I have a lot of insecurities, and I blame others for things that I feel and I have felt. That may be part of the trauma, but trauma doesn't just go away. It's a process, a journey, and requires deep healing. I want to share my story to bring hope and tell others to find Jesus. Heal, let go, become better. You know it. You need it, and so do I. I'm only telling y'all that this was 2022. This is when I just came to Christ again. This is like when my life just started to change. And I did the work. And I hear the Lord saying that you have to do the work. You have to pour your heart out to him. You've got to get raw and honest with yourself. You've got to let it out. Because there's a lot of people that are holding things in and they're not allowing themselves to heal because they're holding back in their truth. You don't got to go pour it out to people. You don't got to go tell people in a group. All you need to do is get yourself a journal and pour it out before the Lord. If you pour your heart out before him, it's safe there. It's safe in his arms. It's safe in his presence. He will use what you wrote down 3, 4, 5 years ago And he will allow you to look back on those things and realize that he truly is the one that can set the captives free. And there's so many people running away from healing and deliverance because they are afraid to face their truth. It's a lot of people that have been in shame because of their truth. You guys, most people would never get on a broadcast like this and tell them their story. You know that most people who have been sexually assaulted will never have the courage to get on a broadcast and tell somebody that that's what happened to them. Do you know how many people will never have the courage to get in front of people and tell people about how their mother, their father, their sisters, their brothers abused them? And I get on here humiliated before man because I know this is not what most people are able to do. And I get on here because there is a power at work in me stronger than my flesh that wants the world to know that he loves people who are broken. He wants to heal you. I have healed so much. The person I used to be, the pain I used to feel, the way that life used to be for me, it was not this way 3 years ago. 2022, I was a hot mess. I was just finally getting to the root of my pain. I was just finally able to realize what my triggers were and why I was the way that I was and why I felt the way that I felt. But here I am now, 3 years later. I'm healed in so many areas. I don't cry as much as I used to. I don't cry myself to sleep anymore. I know how to take my problems to the Lord. I know how to place it in his hands. I don't get triggered by people as much as I used to. And I sure as heck don't live my life to please people anymore. I even wrote it down in 2022. I confessed my sin. I said, Lord, I'm part of the problem. I have problems within myself that is leading me astray and making me question my worth. And I told the Lord that. I said, Father, I don't know who else to tell but you. And I wrote it down. And I knew that one day I would be able to tell my story about it. When I'm ready, we will go, Ava. I told you that already. I did not. I backed you up because you're forcing me to do something that I'm not ready to do. And you're not going to do that because you're going to obey your parents. You're going to obey your parents. And yes, my daughter will get disciplined on this live. She needs to listen and obey her parents and honor her parents. And it took me my whole life to realize that. And I pray that children realize that it's not about your parents being perfect. You honor them because you honor God. Just like the other day, I read something in the Bible. Everything that we do is for the Lord. So your marriage, you better honor it like it's you and the Lord. Your children, honor them like you're honoring the Lord. Anything in your life, your job, honor it like you're honoring the Lord, because everything that you do is for the Lord. So when you don't even love your parents really, or you got issues with your parents, you better still obey the Father and honor your parents as you would honor the Lord, because that is his commandment. That is his declaration for our life. And it took me forever to feel that way because I had so much anger, so much bitterness towards my parents. And I wanted to disrespect them because I didn't value them. And God taught me that I need to value my parents because it's going to add days to my life. Even though they're broken people, they messed up, they hurt me, they didn't mean to, they were just learning. It just makes me sad because I remember so many years where I was just so angry at my parents. Like, I was so mad at them. I treated them terribly. And it says in the word, do not repay evil for evil, right? Like, I remember so many times I just felt like I should be angry because of what they did to me that they probably didn't even mean to happen. So anyways, that's a whole nother sermon that I pray you guys get some, knowledge on one day. But listen to what I wrote in 2022 right here. The topic of it was, have you? It's like a question, like, have you? And this is what I wrote. I said, have you ever wandered farther from God when he was just trying to bring you closer? Have you ever continued to look for love in the world because you somehow couldn't find it in yourself? Have you ever felt something was missing in your life just to figure out that God was there the whole time? Do not ask me the same question.
No.
What is it?
Can I watch that?
Yes, you know you can. You know you can. Just to figure out that God was there the whole time. In our flesh, we seem to always want a physical touch or a physical need. We focus so much on the things our carnal selves need and want, but we get further away from what the Lord would want. Sometimes we get so tired of being unnoticed and alone that we settle for anything just to feel more comfortable in our flesh. The Lord first wants us to know that He is enough. If we can't be comfortable with Him, why should we be comfortable with anyone else? If we can't trust or love Him, then how can we do any of these things for ourselves? He is our refuge and our strength and our everlasting hope. This is 2022, little me, all babe, just learning about the Lord. And then I'm about to get off of here, but Proverbs 16:3, it says, commit everything to the Lord. Commit your love to the Lord. Commit your heart, soul, and mind to the Lord. Commit your problems, your joy, and your dreams to the Lord. He needs us to trust Him in His process, is what I wrote down. Everything your heart desires and whatever your needs are, the Lord already knows. He wants us to be still and know that He will make a way. Praise His name. Bless others. Love the Lord and love your neighbor. Become faithful to Him as He is faithful to you, and submit yourself to Him, and He will literally establish yourself in Him. Do y'all know how this is a testimony? I was writing this in 2022. I just tried to take my life in 2020. I'm sitting here journaling, didn't even know why everything was supernatural. The thing is when you let go and surrender to the Holy One of Israel, come on, somebody. He will take hold of your life and He will lead you to do the things that you need to do to see the life that you want to see. I had no idea I'd be here right now on this broadcast. I had no idea I'd make it to see the next day. All I knew is that there was a greater power that I had surrendered to because I was at the end of myself. I was tired. And He took over. He created this. He created the TikTok channel. He's creating so many things because it's Him working in me now. It's no longer me trying to work for myself. It's no longer me working against myself. It is Him working in my favor. Romans 8:28. What is it, baby? You want to get down? Hold on. And there's a fly trap back there if y'all see that. Because we got flies. We got a farmhouse. Let me see. You want to get down? Yeah. Come on. Mommy's got to clean up your seat now. You are a messy little eater. Oh. So anyways, I just wanted to come on here. My husband's calling me. You got to get tired so He can do His work. You have been an inspiration to me. My story is still coming. I was truly lost. Now so much changing. Amen. Speak it, sis. Talk about it. Because people need to know. People need to know it is no longer me that is at work in me. It is He that is risen in me at work. I'm serious. People wonder why your life has been changing. People wonder why you don't feel the same. You don't look the same. You don't completely act the same. They see something different about you, and it's Jesus. And I just wanted to get on here and share that. I didn't think I was going to make it past 2020. And all I want you guys to do and to know from what I just shared through my humility and my journal and my relationship with God is to let go. Look, I happened, and I'm not even kidding. I picked this out as a devotional today. What does it say that we just said? I didn't even realize what it said. I'm serious. It says letting go and trusting God. We're going to do a little devotional real quick. We're going to just, Lord, open it up to where we need to be, not where we want to be. Let me check on my baby, because what are you doing? Oh my goodness, son. He's peed on the floor. Oh God. Let's just open it up and read it really quick. It's fine. I'll get the pee out. Wise advice. Ooh, this is good. Proverbs 12:15 NIV. The way of fools seem right to them, but the wise will listen to advice. Pride in our own decision-making skills might be a warning sign because it's easy to think we've made great choices. But seeing our weaknesses is another matter. We all like to feel good about our own abilities. And this is on time, y'all. This is on time. And we may get overly enthusiastic about them. Humility, didn't I just say humiliation before honor? We've been talking about this a lot on the last couple of broadcasts that I've been doing. Thank you, Lord. That just shows that He knows what He's saying and doing. It says humility isn't a popular attitude because it's a hard one, but it's still wise. And wise people seek out advice, especially when they know that they're not very knowledgeable in a subject. If you aren't a carpenter and you need to make a bookcase, it will be wise to talk to your neighbor who spends his days working with wood. No one will look down on you for seeking advice from an expert, but so often people want to rush ahead under their own power, and they end up with lengths of wood that are too short and nails that just aren't up to the job. How are our spiritual lives different from such a household project? If anything, spiritual advice is more important. What we do with our worldly lives only affects us for a few years, but spiritual choices can last eternally. Let's be sure, though, that we are getting wise advice. Does our advisor suggest ways that agree with the word? Is her theology consistent and careful, or is she involved in a group that's doubtful? We need to choose advisors wisely and follow them only as far as they follow God's word. That right there is an on-time word. On-time word. This is you guys, and by the way, God evicted me from my old house, got a new house, got a kitchen. I love my house. And my son's literally peeing on my floor. I live in a basement, like it's a finished basement, and my dad owns it, and I still pay rent. If any of y'all thinking like, oh, she's living at her daddy's house. No, I pay rent here. It's actually more than what I paid at my other house, but God still wanted me here for a reason. So I'm not going. And then it's crazy because even though my rent is more money now, I'm making more money all of a sudden. God is providing more. So it says for us to trust in him and he will provide all of our needs, right? So even though he might move you to a bigger place, he's going to provide the money for you to sustain it. Just like, I don't know, bigger state, he's going to provide the things you need. Everything that you need, he will provide. I want to just share that really quickly with you guys, because that was on my heart to just hop on really quick and share. I'm getting ready to go take my kids to look at our animals. Here's another prayer that I want to tell you guys about. Then I'm going to get off here. I prayed to God for me to have land that was paid off and like a garden and animals, basically like a little farm. If you look outside my house, it's not my land. It's my dad's land, but it's paid off. And it's literally a farm outside. So he will literally give you what you want and what you need because he knows what is best. I love you guys. Please be encouraged. Please trust the Lord. Please write it down. Please surrender your life. Give your soul to Jesus, because I am a living testimony. People on here that are also living testimonies. It's not by happenstance or coincidence that we are aligning together, because it is a reason so that someone else can be encouraged and give their life to Christ. He will do more with what you want. He will do he will do more with you than you can do with yourself, is what I'm trying to say. Love you guys. Be blessed. I will try to come on later if the Lord permits it. And I hope you guys have a blessed day.